Hey, Jay, good morning. Oh, y'all, come on in here. Come on in here. Jay Renee, God bless you, baby. I'm head down this morning, trying to add a little bit more to the 10 for 10 and looked up and saw that it was already 10 o'clock. Y'all, come on in here. Come on in here. Good morning. Hey, Yakita. Hey, Janice Granger, Florida. My Periscope family is in the house this morning. Hey, as you're coming on, go on and share. That's my classmate, David Hightower. Shell, thank you for coming on in here today. Thank you, Felicia Park. Thank you for watching. Come on, tell somebody to come on in. I need you to share this one this morning. My sister-in-law is on. My sister in love. God bless you, Sean. All right. Thanks, Crystal, for tuning in. God bless you, Paul Witherspoon. Invite your followers. Hey, son, invite your followers this morning. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a good one. Come on in here, Jonesboro. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Come on. We're going to deal with some unauthorized discounts on today. Go on and share. Please share. This is going to be a good one this morning. We want to get this word out in the body of Christ this morning. God bless you. God bless you. Oh, my oldest brother. I am so honored. I'm talking about, we say we have brothers and, kinfolks and cousins and stuff like that. But I am honored this morning. My oldest brother is on, Vincent. God bless you for joining and supporting your sister on this morning. Hey, Kathy, God bless you, woman of God. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Share, share, share. This is going to be good. Unauthorized discounts. Unauthorized discounts. Come on. We are putting the scriptures on the screen. Psalms 131, 13 through 17, Luke 12, 6 through 9, and 1 Corinthians 7, 8, and 9. Hey, Betty, God bless you. That's where we're coming from this morning. I said, if you read the post, you saw that I asked you for grace this morning. I'm going to need some grace because I don't know how much I'm going to be able to complete. God bless you. God bless you, Asbo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining this morning. Those that are coming on. Hey, Deidre. Hey, nephew. God bless you. Nephew, I got your message. I'll get that to you. God bless you. God bless you. Are y'all sharing? I need y'all to share this. Come on. I need you to share this. It's going to bless you, but it's going to bless some singles. And I'm telling you, this one, I'm going to need some married folks to be on here to give me some amens, but I'm going to need some grace. I'm going to need some grace. God bless you, Brother Hodges. Thank you for joining. Barry, thank you for coming on again. Come on. How many know that the best is yet to come, regardless to where we are and what we are doing and what is going on in our life? I submit to you today. I declare that the best is yet to come, and we haven't seen anything yet. Nothing at all. My daughter's on. God bless you, Shanice. Thank you for joining this morning. Amen. Listen, we're getting ready to get on in here this morning. The one and the only. The pastor of the Master's Touch International Ministries, Pastor Karen Flagg. Thank you for joining. Hey, Florida, Jacksonville, Jessica, baby. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for joining. Hey, let's go on in. I want to talk about some unauthorized discounts. Will you put that in your comments? Unauthorized discounts. Unauthorized discounts that have not been authorized. We want to talk about them this morning. I'm going to read, Yakita has put the scripture that I'm coming out of this morning that I want to be sharing and want to elaborate on. But I want to read the main one. That's what I want to read. I want to read the main one that I'm really pulling from. It's Psalms 139. I'm going to start at the 13th verse and I'm going to read to the 17th verse. And I'm not reading out of the New Living Translation, but rather I'm reading out of not the King James Version. I am reading out of the New Living Translation. And this is what it says. It says, "You made all the delicate inner parts of my body and knitted me together in my mother's womb. Thank you for making me so wonderfully complex. Your workmanship is marvelous. How well I know it. You watched me as I was being formed in the utter seclusion, as I was woven together in the dark of the womb. You saw me before I was born. Every day of my life was recorded in your book. Every moment was laid out before a single day had passed. How precious is your thoughts about me, oh God. They cannot be numbered. I cannot even count them. They outnumber the grains of sand. And when I wake up, you are still with me. I want to use that as our foundational scripture, but there is in Luke, the 12th chapter, the 6th and the 6th and the 7th verse, and also in 1 Corinthians 7, 8 and 9. Those verses, I want you to go back and look at them. I'm going to touch on them a little bit, but I really want you to go and look back over these scriptures because on yesterday, the Lord began to deal with me. My mandate for 2018 is to begin to deal with the being the vessel of the voice that the Lord uses. He says, I want to restore the family altar. Oftentimes what we're trying to do is we're trying to have great churches, great communities, and all this other great stuff. But we fail to realize that the greatness has to start in the house first. So God says that I'm restoring the family altar. In other words, he is getting everything back into the proper alignment. So we have to be willing to submit first to making sure that home is right. So we went out of that, and I wasn't surprised because as I came out of my devotion, he began to deal with me particularly about singles. Now, what I'm getting ready to share with you this morning is not something that I read out of a book and I'm just telling you, well, here's step one, here's step two. I'm telling you that for you singles, that I have already lived this. I have walked this thing out, and I want to share some things with you that I believe that's going to bless you. I know that we're getting ready. We're coming out of the winter season, and you're going to start seeing who's getting married, who's getting engaged. Valentine's Day is just a few weeks away. And for singles, sometimes I found myself in the same place that many of you will find yourself or have found yourself before. You're looking from the outside at something, a couple or something that appears, do you hear me? Appears to have it going on, appears to have it all together, appears to, be loving, and appears to have you sitting in a place where you covet something that you think is one way. But I'm telling you, I'm asking you now to not allow yourself to go to that place, because a man told me some years ago, Pastor Flagg, he said that everything that glitter ain't gold. So a lot of times in my singleness, I would see married people and I was like, oh my God, they got it going on. Oh, I wish. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Because I saw in what was projected was one thing, but sometimes what is projected is not actually what it is. Come on. We can be some good actresses and good actors sometimes. We can give you the illusion that it's all well because we got this personality at home. We got one at work. We got, and God know we got our best one when we standing behind the pulpit or when we got to do a revival. But I'm telling you, singles, don't buy into the hype. I need you to understand that God cares about you. Periscope family, if you're on there and you're a single, I need you to understand that God cares about you. Just because, let me say this, just because you may be single in this season does not mean that you are less than a married couple. Do you hear what I'm saying? Just because you are single in this moment don't mean you're going to be a single forever. You've got to understand that in this moment, it can be the most rewarding moment in your life. I don't know if I got some married folks or just, if you're not ashamed and scared, that you would say, I wish somebody had told me some things that I'm learning now. They would have told me before I jumped into a relationship. Because a lot of times, if we would tell the truth, we really wasn't prepared for marriage. We wasn't sat down and said, now let me tell you what marriage is all about. Marriage is a lot more than just having legal sex. I just said something. It's not about sex without a conviction. That's not what marriage is about. It's not about the wedding. It's not about the honeymoon. It's about a commitment that you're entering into. And this is something that you have to understand. You've got to understand that even before you marry, that has to be a funeral. I just helped somebody. What do you mean by that? Before you allow yourself to come in and to be one flesh with somebody, you have got to submit to a death of dying to yourself. Because if you don't, I'm getting ready to help somebody today. If you don't, what you're going to have is a relationship that's going to only magnify what was already there. I just said something. Marriage will only magnify the things that are already in you. You don't get if you were stingy and mean before you got married, let me tell you something. You're going to be stingy and mean in the marriage. If you didn't like to pray before you got married, you're not just going to miraculously wake up because you didn't assume somebody else's name and then you're going to want to pray. No, you have to deal with this now. And singles, I don't want you to discount. I don't want you to feel like you're less than. I don't want you to feel like God has overlooked you, that he's not concerned about you. He's concerned about you. He understands where you are. Some of you all have never been married before. Some of you may be re-single, meaning you were married before and experienced a divorce and now you find yourself re-single again. Well, that alone right there, it brings some things that must be dealt with. You have to deal with them. That's your own set of problems, what I'm saying, that you've got to deal with. Because now if you've been married and you're single again and it's not through death, and then you might need to stop and slow down long enough to say, I'm going to use this time to see about myself. I tell this story so often. Bishop Harris in Virginia, when I was single, I went in after service. Me and my kids one day, we went over to their house and stayed. And they had, at the church we attended, they would have family and relationship classes in the evenings at 4:30 before the evening service. Well, this one particular Sunday, he told us we had eaten and rested and all that. He said, all right, come on, y'all, let's get ready. So we get ready and we head into the church. And so we get to the church, Bishop and Lady Lovey, they walk and they make that left turn into the fellowship hall. And I just kept on walking. And I'm almost down the hall and I heard a pss, pss, and I turned around and it was Bishop Harris. And he said, where are you going? I said, I'm going to the singles class. Duh. He said, you need to be in the marriage and relationship class to see what you did wrong the last time so you can do it right and you'll be ready if the Lord called you to do it again. You're talking about somebody who was mad. I was mad because I'm single. But Bishop had a valid point. I needed to slow down because I'm re-single now and find out what was my part. Did I play a part in there? What could I have done? And let me tell you something. The first lesson, the bishop and his wife would sit there and they were talking about intimacy in the relationship. I just wanted to cry, right? Because I'm running around here thinking all this sex ain't necessary and all that good stuff, only to find out the makeup of a man. Do you hear what I'm saying? I don't have time to go into that, but I'm trying to make a point to you that if you are re-single, don't be trying to jump and hurry and worry about what somebody else is saying needs to be the timeline for your life. You take the opportunity to see, God, is it something in me that I need to get worked out? Is it something in me that you need to uncover for me to deal with? Are there some ons in my life that I have never addressed? I've allowed just to keep doing, but I have not allowed you to go into those tender places and begin to massage and work them and allow healing to come. So I'm telling you, use your time wisely, singles. Use your time wisely. Go on. Don't be worried about what you see, what it looks like. Somebody is happy. I mean, let me tell you something. If the married folk would tell the truth, they are in relationships. Some of them are in relationships where they find themselves now. They had to learn a lesson. This is one thing that we have to understand. And I want you to get this, singles. I want you to get this, that you need to make sure that one, God's will for your life is for you to be married. I just said something, because a lot of times we will step off into people's will into people's timeline. Well, you 30, you ain't married yet. You ain't got no kids. Your clock is that. Y'all stop that foolishness. You better make sure this is the plan of God for your life. Because could it be that God is not the timeline that God has set for you? You're not supposed to be married until you're 45. He wanted you to go on and be about his business, get everything taken care of, get yourself established, do some great things that he has purpose for your life, and then marry so that you can enjoy your life. So stop long enough to say, God, what are you saying for my life? Is it my season to be married? Are you calling me to be married? Have you gifted me to be single? And you have to be okay with whatever God's will. But if married people will tell the truth, some of them just wanted what they wanted. I just said something. We wanted what we wanted. We wanted what we wanted. It was not necessarily the will of God. I'm helping somebody. We wanted what we wanted, and God did not make us not do what we wanted. I just helped you. I know I helped somebody. A lot of times we're running around here and we want what we want. And then when we get what we want, then we're just so disappointed. But God is not going to make us listen to him. He's not going to make us do what he wants us to do. We have to get to the place where we trust God. And if God says that is not the one, I don't care how fine he is. I don't care what he got going on. I don't care how much money he has, how fine she is. You better know that whoever God has called you to, he has called you for a reason. He has called you for a purpose. So you can't get sidetracked about what other people are doing. You can't get sidetracked about forgive me. That's just somebody that's not on 10 for 10 and trying to interrupt this call. But let me tell you something. What you've got to do is you've got to go and you've got to acknowledge, God, is this the one for me? And if he says, no, that's not what I have, you better trust God that is not the one. A lot of times as singles, I know, we think we know what we want, but I'm telling you, sometimes God has wrapped everything you need up in a package that really didn't appeal to you. I just said something. If you stop long enough, why don't you go and go back long enough to look at some of the relationships that you've been in. What did they have in common? What was that thing that kept pulling you into them, that has you in the place where you are right now, single? You might want to check that, because God will allow you to have, if you want it, God is not going to make you not suffer. You want it, so go ahead. Go right ahead. You go right ahead. You do what you want to do. But I'm telling you, you got some people, because y'all know we like to spiritualize everything. We get in these relationships. They don't work out the way, we thought they were going to work out. And then we say this, you have changed. Now, these people haven't changed. They were the same people that we married. But we tend to overlook things when we want something. When our flesh want it, we just make excuses for it. And then when we get locked into it, then we want to say, folk ain't changing. They are the same people. So then we spiritualize it. And then we say, well, and we shout on this. Come on. Y'all know we do. Well, the Lord will cause it all to work for your good. Let me help you with that. Sometimes the good that God causes, the mess we made, to work in our favor, it is, guess what? It's our acknowledgement and awareness that I bet I won't do that no more. I bet I won't make another decision without consulting God. I bet before I go out and step out in my flesh again, I'm going to petition the Lord. I bet I fast the next time. I bet I don't take anybody's word. I'm going to get God for myself. Sometimes that's the good. That's the lesson. But guess what? You've already sowed a seed. And so now you find yourself in this place where you're saying, God, you got to give me grace on what I've already done. And God will do that. But I want you singles, I want you to stop coming off that place of your standard and feeling like you've got to compromise. Listen, you are not clearance rack merchandise. Do you hear me? You are not clearance rack merchandise. Somebody put that in the comments. You are not clearance rack merchandise. So get yourself off of the clearance rack. You've got some people, get this, you've got some people that understands a product. They know a particular product. They know that this product is a tried and a true product. They know the value of this product. So guess what? This product is never discounted to make it move. I just said something. When you do a discount, and I looked this up, it says when you do a discount, come on, these discount stores, they reduce the price in order to move product. I just said something. I hope, is there any singles that's understanding what I'm saying today? Sometimes what we find ourselves doing as a single person, you will reduce who you are. You will reduce your standard. You will reduce what you believe in just so you can move. I just help somebody. I just help some married folk too. You will come off of a standard just because you want to be moved, just because you want to find yourself in a relationship, just because you want to do something. I'm telling you today, move yourself off of the clearance rack. You are not clearance rack material. And people that understand, get this, people that understand value, people that know value and know the quality of something, guess what? They're not cheap. When they coming in, they're not even going to the clearance rack section. Do you understand? When a person knows what they know about value, when a person knows what they know, what they are looking for, they understand that there's a value attached to what they desire, and it is not on the clearance rack. So you might be missing what God has for you because you have authorized some discounts concerning you. I'm telling you today, stop authorizing these discounts because you are valuable. God has invested too much in you. The person that God has for you, let me go on and put this, because I know we didn't say it. We say it all the time. In your singleness, I'm going to need you to be balanced. Deal with you, but learn to live a balanced life. Because this is what we say, we church folk. We say, your husband in the church, your husband in the church. I'm telling you, your wife is in the church. Why are you running all over the place? They in the church, they in the church. Let me help something. Can I just clear something up? Your husband may not be in the church. Your husband and your wife may not be in the church. You may not meet them in the church. This is what hear me. I didn't say they wasn't saved. I said they may not be in your church. That's what I said. You got some people. That's why I need you to be balanced. A lot of times as single, you talking about what you don't like. That ain't you. I don't deal with that. Let me tell you something. When you have only had one way of dealing and seeing things, that's all you know. But when you become balanced, I just said something. When you become balanced in your life, that brings you into a place where you're not just focused on one thing. Your opportunities and things open when you are open. When I was single, let me tell you what I did. When I was single, all I know, y'all, those that know me, you know, 6 months old, I've been in the church. That's all I knew is the church. And look, even when I was in a backslidden state, when I went in the Navy, I caught myself going to a club one night. And the people said that I was on the dance floor. And I was on the dance floor and it looked like I was in the choir because I was doing the choir move. That's how much church, I just said something. That's how much church was in me. But when I was single, get this. When I was single, I saw somewhere or heard about a man that had been in prison for years, and he was wrongfully in prison, and he got out. And I was in Virginia when this took place. He got out and he had written a book, and he was doing a reading of the book and book signing. He was introducing his book. So I decided, me, my little church girl self, that I'm single. I want to do something different. I still go to church. I still love the Lord, but you know, I'm gonna go. I want to hear his story. And so get this. I went to a nice hotel. Grange, you know, downtown, the Marriott downtown. Shanice, that's where y'all did your wedding and everything. Beautiful. I walked in there. I'm telling you, the first thing that I noticed was people spoke. I just said something. They were, hi, welcome. We don't even do that in the church with our saved self. We don't greet one another. But anyway, that's another nugget. But anyway, they were speaking. I looked at how they dressed. I looked at how they introduced themselves and how they were open. That thing just messed me up. What I saw was a different kind of people. They had a different angle. They saw stuff from a different perspective. They were open. So my point is, what I'm telling you is all this you trying to say, yeah, I ain't gonna try that food. I don't like that kind of stuff. Sometimes we don't know what we like. And a lot of times we use the church as our excuse not to grow. We just stay focused. We just right there. But I'm telling you, sometimes you have got to allow yourself to get to the place where you say, God, what do you want? And if he says go, then you go, because your husband could be at that place. Your wife could be at that place. My husband I didn't meet him in the church. I met him at Walmart on aisle number 9. I'm trying to tell y'all something. He's not always in the church. But what if I didn't go to the Walmart? What if he didn't go to the Walmart? He had Walmarts that he passed to get to the one that I was at because I wasn't looking. So what am I telling you? You've got to be balanced. You've got to seek the Lord. You've got to ensure that you are doing and staying connected to what God has said over you. I hope I'm saying something. You got to stay connected and know what God is saying over your life. But I'm challenging you singles. I'm going to wrap this up because I know I'm over and I thank you for the grace. But I'm challenging you. I want to do something. I want to challenge you something and to do something. I want to challenge you to understand that in this season that you deal with you, that you become balanced, that you really petition God, okay, about you and what he's saying for you, not for the girlfriend next door, not for somebody else. I need you to petition God for what he is saying to you. But while you are doing this is something that I need you to do. I need you, hold on, because I really want to say this. This was really good. This is your challenge, single people. I want you to post a disclaimer for clearance buyers. Do you hear me? My single people, I want you to post a disclaimer for the clearance right buyers. And this is what I want you to let them know. You are no longer on back order. Okay? You are not on back order. I just said something. You know, when you're a product or a commodity and there's a demand and the supply is there, sometimes the demand is overtaking the supply. And so you have to get a rain check. Would you please post a disclaimer and say, I am not on back order. Okay? I'm not on back order and I am not temporarily discontinued. You know, sometimes you got products that's temporarily discontinued for whatever the reason. It's in stock. You know, you saw it on the shelf. You know, you went to Kroger and you saw that particular product and all of a sudden it's not there. You ask management, where is it? Well, it's been temporarily discontinued. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know, one of the medicines, I don't know, was it Tylenol? It was a particular medicine. It was discontinued for a season, but they brought it back. This is the disclaimer that I want the singles to do. In big red letters. Do you hear me? In big red letters. You are permanently, you're not temporarily discontinued, but you are permanently discontinued. The discount for you is over. Do you hear me? There is no more discount. You are not authorizing any more discounts. You have removed yourself from the clearance rack. You are going back to the place where the manufacturer always intended for you to be, right where just you're the center of attention. When they come in, they'll know, that right there, there won't be no markdown. When they come in, they already go to the section and they know that, all right, that's the right, that's the right product. This is the genuine. This is the authentic. I want you to stop it. Stop authorizing discounts because you're better than that. Stop it. You're better than that. Take yourself off the clearance rack. Get back in that place where you're supposed to be and understand that you're valuable. Listen at this. The price that Jesus paid for us to be back in right relationship with the Father, that alone is absolutely priceless. Do you hear me? So you've got to understand not only what Christ did on the cross, redeemed you to the Father, but it brought you off every discount shelf, rack, floor, and it brought you back to the original state that God intended. Nothing lacking, nothing missing. Use this time of singleness to explore you. Do you hear me? Use this time of singleness for you to be made whole. So you don't get into a relationship and put a burden on somebody else to make you happy. Oh, I just said something. Learn to love yourself. Learn to speak into your own life. Treat your own self. I tell women all the time, stop waiting on somebody to send you some roses. If you like roses, I'm not a rose person. But if you won, then by George, you got some extra money. Send yourself some roses. Buy yourself a box of chocolate. But you don't have to settle. You don't have to discount yourself for a box of chocolates. Come on, somebody. Remain firm in who you are. Know that God is concerned about you and God got something just for you. Oh God, I hope I have said something. I really do. I hope I've said something that has encouraged you, that has blessed you, something that you will even make a decision to share with some singles, some other people that are struggling, some other people that feel like my clock is up, my time is running out. Let me tell you something. Don't do it. Don't do it. Stop authorizing discounts. You're more than that. I hope you've been blessed. I pray that you learn the value of who you are, that you will pass this on, because this is just not a word from you for you. It's for God's kingdom babies. I'm telling you today, he's got some kids in the kingdom that needed to be reminded that you don't have to compromise. Just know that God values you. And just because you're single right now doesn't mean that you'll always be. But take the time to learn about you, to get you well. I pray I blessed you. Listen, I love you to life. I thank you all so much for continuing to support me in this 10 for 10. And I pray that you are being blessed, that the word is just not, you're not hearing it, but it's really going into your heart, and that you are being honest with yourself, that you're having courageous conversation with yourself to see where you are and what you need to change and how this word can affect and bless your life. I pray that you're doing this and that you're not just getting the word and just, oh, you need it. We all need a word like this. So those of you all that continue to sow into 10 for 10, God bless you. I speak a blessing over your life. A lot of people say, $10. I mean, but we sow a seed of $10 in McDonald's. Some of us in the marketplace, we go to lunch, and every day we spend more than $10 on lunch 5 days a week. That's $50. But guess what? You're going to have to eat that evening and the next day and the next day. But God's word is a word that we can continue to eat on. We have to learn to put value on the word of God. And I'm telling you, for those of you all that say, Apostle, I'm being blessed. Apostle, I thank you. I speak a blessing over your life, that even as you continue to sow into this assignment for me, that God would take that and he would bless it. He would multiply it, and that you will find yourself lacking nothing or missing nothing. I'm going to tell you you this and I'm going. God did tell me at the beginning of the year. He said, in this year, I'm going to be stretching. I'm going to stretch you. God's going to stretch your faith in this year. He's going to stretch you in some areas this year so that you can grow and go in that assignment that he's called for you. Please submit to the stretching, because it's going to bless your life and it's going to bless the lives of those that are connected to you. Listen, I do love you. I thank you. I'll pick up or put some more announcements to some things and some engagements where I will be speaking coming up. I'd love to see you there. I'm going to put that later on Facebook for you to follow. And guess what? We'll be right back here on Friday. Periscope family, thank you so much for hanging in there with me. Facebook family, thank you for hanging with me. I will be right back here. We'll see you on Thursday, 10 a.m., 10 for 10. God bless you. We got it in.